Hello, everybody. This is Lisa. I've been doing my best to get these videos out and doing lives and try to upload. Um, but it's really important to me to talk about, the mental health because the state of the world that we're in today, we could really use some mental health. And you know what? A lot of people ask, well, I don't understand where the stigma for mental health came from. I do. Because we go back in the day, I mean, way back in the day, way back in the day, where you weren't even allowed to talk about what was going on. You were so not allowed to talk about what was going on. And so it was like that was a stigma that was carried on throughout the years, especially like I was born in the mid 60s. Yeah, I know. I'm that old. I'm that old. But I was born in the mid 60s, so I know firsthand whatever's going on with you, you don't speak about. You keep it hush hush. You know. And this is where the stigma comes from. You know, always gotta keep it hush hush. Always gotta be quiet. But now we're in a day and age where, you know what? If I need mental health, I'm gonna get me some mental health. I don't give a doggone what anybody has to say. Because sometimes you have to do that, for the benefit of yourself. I know for me, I had to. I don't, I'm at that age where, you know what, I don't give a damn what nobody thinks, because at the end of the day, ain't nobody paying my bills. Ain't nobody living up in here but me. So sorry about the mess in the back. But, um, budget. I just, oh yeah, this day, as old as I get, I'm like, I don't care. You could call me whatever. You can say whatever about me because I'm getting my mental health together. I don't care. And sometimes it takes that kind of attitude on certain things just so that you can push forward and do what you feel is right for you. By the way, I'm not a therapist. I'm just put that disclaimer. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a person that deals with mental health, and I have been dealing with it for many years. And it's something that I'll probably be dealing with for the rest of my life. You know, um, so I don't care. Because I suffer from PTSD and depression. You know, and it is like a total, total nightmare. Well, literally a nightmare. Because I have these dreams. I have these dreams. Sorry, I was eating tea. My food is orange. Um, I have these dreams, and most of them pertain to either snakes. They pertain to either snakes or lava. At any rate, it requires me running away. So when I look back on those dreams, well, nightmares. When I look back on those nightmares, that's for me, metaphorically, that's like saying I'm still trying to run away from the issue because the pain is so real and it's so great, But at the end of the day, this is something that I know I have to do for myself. Sometimes I have to put on my big girl panties and hitch them up and do what I got to do, because at the end of the day, I want to be a better me. And the only way that I can be a better me is whatever's going on in the inside, I need to clean that out. Or at least organize it, you know. I need to do that for me, you know. And it's so easy to tell other people that you're not the one doing it. And those are the ones who probably need the most cleaning out, you know. And it's sad to this day to think that, you know, you still got people out here judging other people because mental health. I mean, there are so many other things in the world we judge people about, and this is, and you have to pick this one. At the end of the day, this is the most serious if it's left unchecked. It can be deadly. It could be deadly to you, and it could be deadly to other people if it goes unchecked. And just like, when I started taking medications, my doctor she always stressed that regardless of how good you feel, you have to still stay on your medication. And I understand that because you feeling good, you feeling all right, you don't feel like you don't need the medication, and then you go off the medications, and then you guess what? You're back at square one. You just say it. I've been dealing with my own mental health issues since, really, believe it or not, since 1988. Right. Because I had to think, my mother died October 31st, 88. When I was raped, it was like the first week in November of 88. We hadn't even put her in the ground yet. So not only did I have my mother's death that I needed to contend with, now I have to deal with the rape on top of that. And it's overwhelming. And then to go into the military in 89 to be sexually assaulted. So that was like boom, 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 one on top of the other. And it was like, there's a couple of theories for me. There is a couple of theories for me. One, and I think it might be a combination of them all, but one is that it was too much at once and I checked out mentally. And two, at that time I was homeless. So I was literally living on the streets of New York when at least the first two took place. When my mother passed and the rape, I was homeless, living on the street. And I did not have the opportunity to actually be able to sit and kind of marinate and think, and just take in what in the world just happened. I didn't have that opportunity. So for me, all I did was I kept it pushing. I went into the military where I got sexually assaulted. So that's three. I'm pushing it down. But what happened in the course of me doing that, I think I got a little bit complacent, a little bit comfortable, you know, and so I never went back to visit that. I never acknowledged it, you know. And when I tell you, people, if you go through anything such like that, please go get the help that you need, because I guarantee in the end, it's going to come back and bite you in the butt, and it's going to bite you hard. With me, I know it was my relationships. You know, I could probably count on one hand out of all relationships that I had that it actually wasn't my fault. You know, but the rest I know is me, because I never took the time to deal with it. I never, was like, maybe I should get some help. But deep down, after each relationship exploded or imploded, at the end of the day, I knew it was me. It was me, you know. So I need to, I know I have to do a lot of work on myself, you know, which I'm starting to do, which I'm really starting to do. Uh-oh. Just hang on for a second. Hang on for a second. Did I not? I'm such a goofball sometimes. I'm sorry. I had to do something real quick, but I apologize for that. So I had to, you know, my mother was no longer here, you know, and my sisters didn't even care whether I was alive or dead, you know. So the only person I had to depend on to navigate this mess was me. And let me tell you, sometimes that wasn't a good look. That really was not a good look. But, I'm doing it. So now I can honestly say I have been in a relationship since 2014, 2015 in that area. And it's given me a lot of time to get my crap over in order, you know, to work on me, do what I need to do to work on me. Because eventually, yes, I would like to have a healthy relationship. The only way that's going to happen is unless I fix me. And so I've been on this trip to fix me. You know, I'll never get over what happened. Once that happens, it happens. I I can't. There's no way. I wish I had a magic wand to make it go away. Unfortunately, that's something I'm going to have to deal with the rest of my life. But the thing about it is that now I have the tools that I need, that when certain things come up, I can recognize it and I know how to deal with it, you know, which is which is not an easy thing to do, you know. I tell people, um, get yourself a journal. Get yourself a journal. Start journaling. You know what's going on with you. Start journaling your emotions. Start journaling your feelings. Like me, I journal whenever I have a nightmare. I journal. You know, and believe me, that is such a big help when you can put it down on paper and you can see it and you can just you, you can see it. You're like, okay, what was I going through? Okay, and you can kind of put the pieces together. You know, it's it's a lot easier that way. You know, when people say, well, what was going on with you at the time? And you say, well, I really don't know. But I think when you put it on paper, when you put it, when you start journaling it out and putting it on paper, it'll make you, it'll make it easier for you to feel, because you can see it. And sometimes, as humans, we are very visual people. We are very visual people, you know. So for me, when I see it and I can reflect on it and go, and that's where my epiphanies come from. Because when I can see it and I can reflect on it, I'm like, hmm, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know, I call it self-reflection, you know, because I believe that when you're dealing with mental health issues, self reflection is definitely an important step in the process of trying to get yourself better. You know, and trust me, I have done a lot of self reflection, and I'm still doing the self reflection. And I be having epiphanies left and right. I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't think about it. Right, So, yeah, the self reflection is definitely one of the major parts of trying to, you know, get yourself back on track a little bit. You know, I'm like, so I'm sorry, I we live too much, but that's why with Mental Health Awareness Month, it is really important, you know, and as of late, I hadn't really been, you know, dropping anything because um, I'm going through my own stuff. I'm dealing with depression as we speak. And I have to get an adjustment on my medications and stuff so that they can put me on the right I'm sorry, so that they can put me on the right medication. Ugh, hot mess, stinkiness. You know, like right now, I'm fighting with the postal service because one of the medications I'm on is Ambien, and Ambien is a control. So normally it would go from South Carolina to Albany to my post office, but then it switched up to going from South Carolina to New Jersey to Newburgh, New York to Albany to here. Now that's the way it's actually been for the last couple of months. They sent my medication out on Friday, yesterday, right? No. Excuse me. I'm sorry. They sent it out on the 21st. I should have had it yesterday. I don't know what's going on with USPS, but the medication went, it actually came to Albany. Once it gets to Albany, it's supposed to come here to my post office. But whoever y'all got working for y'all, I don't know. Because you went from Albany to Tupper Lake. And when I checked it this morning, now it's in Massachusetts. I'm like, what in the holy? I said, and I called him yesterday, and I even called him this morning. I'm like, look, this is my medication, it's controlled substance. I was supposed to have this yesterday, and we doing this roundabout thing, and I'm getting irritated because this is starting to happen a little bit more frequently than I like. I don't know what's going on with the post office, but this stuff, because this is not the first time this happened. I've had packages that actually made it to Albany. For it to turn around, to go to Massachusetts, come back to Albany, and to come back here. I said, y'all need to start paying attention to these packages, man. I'm just like super irritated with the USPS right now. Because y'all, and it don't make sense because you were right here in Albany. All you had to do was put it on a truck and bring it down to this post office. That's the way it's supposed to go. It goes to Albany Distribution, which is the big mail distribution in Albany, and then it comes to my post office. How in the hell did you go from Albany Distribution to Tupper Lake, from which I hear is about 4 hours away? Now you're going further away because now you're in Massachusetts. So now I don't have my medication. I won't have my medication till Tuesday because Monday's a holiday. I'm like, y'all people in the post office, y'all need to really get it together. But this is not right. Had it been any other medication, I could have been patient. You know what I'm saying? But this specific one, because, I've had people say, well, Lisa, you're not supposed to wait until you get your last pill and then refill. Controlled substances, they don't work that way. They do not work that way. Because when you run out of your controlled substance, it's not like they can go back and renew the prescription. They have to wait. And with Ambien, it has to be a 10-day waiting period. I can't renew it earlier than that because it's a controlled substance. I can't renew it any earlier than that. I have to wait. So if I refilled it like on the 21st, the earliest that I could probably get it refilled is the 11th. I can't get it any sooner. I mean, I can send an email and give them a heads up, like, look, I'm getting ready to run my meds, and they can be put on notice so that when the time comes, they can just go ahead and put in a prescription. but I can't. At least Ambien don't work like that. I have to wait 10 days, and you only give me 15 pills. The last time I checked, it was 30 days. But then you want me to cut this little tiny pill in half. Which would be 5 milligrams, because you can't go higher than 10 with Ambien. And usually 5 don't cut it for me. I have to take a full one. 5 does not cut it for me. I tried doing the 5, but it doesn't work. Anyway, but I just went on a rant. That's okay. And right now, in the state of the world, I'm looking back. I'm looking at everything that's going on in this world right now. Everything. And right now, this world is really suffering from a major case of PTSD. With everything that's going on, from the person that's on trial right now, which he shall remain nameless, to this Diddy stuff. Everybody's caught up in a PTSD moment. Really are. And whether people realize it or not, whether people realize it or not, I don't know. I see it. Because it seems like every day something new is happening and we all being traumatized or re-traumatized. So at some point, I had to say, you know what? I love myself way too much. Continue on this crazy path. Let me go get help. I've been in therapy for many, many years. Because dealing with PTSD, it's not that simple. You're dealing with the flashbacks, you're dealing with the nightmares, you're dealing with the depression, you're dealing with your alertness, startling easy, these stuff that you deal with dealing with PTSD, and it's really not a good thing. I didn't even know what it was until I went to my first counseling back in maybe 96, 97. And I was going to the vet center, and that's where I learned and found out about it. So it's all about self-love. And it's like my mother always said, if you don't love yourself, if you can't love yourself, how do you expect anybody else to love you? And those are facts. And I see it so many times. I'm like, this person is trying to get you the help that you need. But if you're not trying to meet this person halfway or making an attempt to help yourself, then you cannot expect this person, other people to help you if you're not willing to meet them halfway. Because at the end of the day, we still got to do the majority of the work. And I'm learning to love myself. I'm learning to go, hey, I I'm loving myself, you know, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Because then, what I feel or what I think is that once you do that, now you open the door to allow people to come into your life and love you back. Because I learned to love me. That door is now open for other people to come in and love me. And I'm going to meet you halfway. Matter of fact, I done did most of the work anyway. You know, I do boundaries. I set boundaries. I take care of myself. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. But anyway, we're gonna call this a day. I will I will try to do it. Um, I will drop another video. Actually, the next video I drop won't be a live. It'll probably just be an upload. You know, because I want to keep the momentum going. So, and I do have my own business, Break the Mental Health Stigma LLC. So, um, if you want, hit me up, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next go around.